All right, away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. Make sure you remember, visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. They will deliver to your house pretty much everywhere in the 275 loop, right from the app, or get yourself down to Dayton, Kentucky. Lunch and dinner, Wednesday through Sunday. Tell them to pump it up. Save yourself 15% off their fried chicken, their tendies, their chicken dunkers, you name it, and they will get you taken care of. You know, I think it might be a Galactic day tomorrow at the radio station because I always buy lunch for my guys when I fill in for Mo, and we haven't done Galactic in a long time. So I think I'm probably going to have to, when we get done with this, I'm going to have to send Shane a text tonight and let him know I'm coming down and we're getting some Galactic for the radio station on Thursday. I'll be in for Mo Thursday, by the way, 3 to 6, ESPN 1530. And my guest, Aaron, my first guest of the show, 3:20.
Yeah.
None other than Dan Horde. I think Justin Williams is going to join me at 3:45. So we're going to talk some Bearcats, Scott Satterfield. We're going to talk the Crosstown Shootout as it's the last show on 1530 before the Crosstown Shootout. And then we're going to do a lot of Bengals stuff as well because I got some Bengals stuff I want to talk about. So that's tomorrow, Cincinnati's ESPN 1530. Let's go tonight, Aaron. I've been doing the BCJ podcast with Dave. And my focus on Twitter has not been 100% all day because I've had stuff. I had a radio show. I had to get home from the radio show. I had a conversation with our new partner on the way home. And then we had an awesome conversation with John Cunningham and B Fox on Cincy Reigns. John Cunningham also got into some conversation about the hiring of Scott Satterfield. So we've had a lot going on. Like and subscribe. While you're here, like and subscribe right now. Do it. I know not all of you are liked and subscribed. So like and subscribe. But there was a lot of interesting stuff floating around Twitter tonight. And both of us were like, Dennis Dodd is putting out a bunch of stuff from Brett Yormark. Like, where is this coming from? Is Dennis Dodd like in Brett Yormark's living room?
It's because Brett Yormark moves like a G.
So, where this is all coming from, tonight or today, however you look at it, in Las Vegas, Sports Business Journal and Learfield, which is one of the they handle a lot of the internet and content broadcasting world sales for a lot of the college sports franchises around the country. So they have this summit in Las Vegas, and Mark Emmert's there, and the commissioners of all the conferences are there, and everybody is playing nice and glad-handing, it seems, right, Aaron? Everybody's talking about the things that are the hot button NIL and pay for play and the transfer portal and all these things. And they're all saying
expanded playoffs.
They're all saying in this summit all the things that like they've got written down on their note cards.
It's like coach speak, but it's commish speak, right?
It's commissioner speak, yeah.
Right.
Commissioner speak. I love it. No, I love it. I'm giving you you nailed it. They're all giving commissioner speak. And then Brett Yormark gets the mic and he gets his Elon Musk flamethrower and he starts firing at everyone that's in the room. So here you go. You get to go through the Dennis Dodd comments and we will react because it's fascinating.
Well, do you want me to do just Dennis Dodd? Because
whatever you want to talk about. This is you. You're in the driver's seat.
I just did a search for Brett Yormark on the Twitter.
Perfect. And these are all the main people in college football that you've got up here.
Right. So the first one here is we'd love to get in that 4th Pacific time zone, and we will at some point. Not even messing around. Oh, we're going to expand. No one else is talking about expansion here at this.
We will
summit.
be on the West Coast. Everybody else is talking about the talking points that are on their note card, as I just said. Brent Yormark says, "I'm telling you all that I'm coming for you."
And that's from both Brett McMurphy and Nicole Auerbach. They had the same quote there.
Yeah.
Ross Dellinger says, "We are the deepest conference in America, and it played out. There was a perception that this conference was defined by Texas and Oklahoma. We are bigger than two schools." And I'm sure that's referring to the eyes that were on the Big 12 championship.
Absolutely.
Because people were saying that, I mean, you even had Paul Feinbaum saying that nobody watches that championship anyway on ESPN, later had to come back and apologize
Sorry.
in regards to his comments, because he did not realize what the actual numbers said. He's just an SEC homer and will shit on anybody else who has anything to do with any other conference anyway.
And it wasn't like the Pac-12 had a standalone Friday night championship FCS or like a playoff implication.
Sure.
And the Big 12
USC wins and they're in.
Numbers on the Big 12 still did better numbers on Saturday, competing against. They went up against the SEC, right? That was what time was the Big 12 game? The Big 12 game was at noon, wasn't it?
I have to go back and check. I'm not sure.
Whatever.
Brandon Marcello says Brett Yormark said that collaboration with Bathing Ape music and tapping into youth culture is going to be a big part of the future of the conference. The Big 12 championship last week was a peek under the hood of where this conference is going. There were t-shirts being sold for $119 that had the Big 12 and the Bathing Ape together. Like $119 for a t-shirt.
So
I don't know anything about Bathing Ape.
Ashanti did the national anthem, right?
Right.
Can you think of any of the other leagues that had anything that happened like this that anybody talked about? Who sang the national anthem at any of the other games?
I mean, Dave brought it up. It's usually a country singer that you either maybe is somebody you've heard of, maybe it's not. And usually that's the way that it goes. It's not traditionally a hip hop artist of any way, shape, or form.
Now remind me, who did Brent Yormark spend a lot of time working with?
It's The Rock.
Jay-Z.
Yep.
And guess what? That means his contacts are better than yours.
Dennis Dodd said, over the course of the not too distant future, I would expect things to happen.
That's ominous, isn't it?
I
While
mean,
sitting there at a benign summit that is supposed to just kind of be talking points, Brent Yormark says,
Brett.
We're gonna Brett Yormark says, damn Brent Young. When I see that, I just put the N in there because I have to say Brent all the time in my regular life. He just says, yeah, we're expecting some things to happen.
That's not even a cryptic tweet. Like, that's literally.
There's nothing cryptic. He's not hinting that there might be things happening.
Right. It's over the course of the not too distant future, I would expect things to happen. That's wild for somebody to say at a summit where, again, everyone else is doing kumbaya bullshit.
Right. Nobody else, everyone is trying not to say anything.
He's guns blazing. Speaking of not saying anything, Ross Dellinger here. I was put off candidly by the Rose Bowl. I don't believe in anyone putting themselves ahead of the sport. Guns
Gangster.
blazing.
This guy's a gangster. Like, he's not holding back. He's not. Look, and this is what I love, because we're in the business of asking questions, right? Like, we do a lot of video and audio content. We have a lot of guests. We have a lot of great stuff. You're in the business of asking questions and hoping that your questions get answered. And Brent Yormark's just got a bazooka.
Brett?
Brett Yormark. God.
Speaking of in the business, went on to say, again, according to Ross Dellinger, we are open for business when it comes to expansion, doubling down on what he said when he became commissioner, when he was announced as commissioner.
Right.
And he got, people were upset that he said it at that point. Nicole Auerbach, when he was asked about Gonzaga specifically, said, if there's a standalone basketball opportunity that creates value for the conference, excellent. If basketball comes with football, great. For us, it's all about value creation.
And he said it. There's another quote he had at one point that he said, "We're going to be about, like, we're going to focus on, like, being the gangster in basketball. Right? Like, we're not backing down from the fact that we're the best basketball conference in the country.
Oh, that's from December.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know that there's
maybe not any about as big as most of those. Those are your big.
Well, but here's the other thing that I think is important. When you take a shot at the Rose Bowl, that's not really your shot isn't at the Rose Bowl. Your shot is at the Pac-12. Because the Pac-12 and the Rose Bowl,
hand in hand.
The game is played in Los Angeles. Well, suburban Los Angeles, whatever. Yeah, if you've ever tried to get to Pasadena from fucking downtown LA, that's a drive. It's a haul.
I've never been to LA, so.
Well, I'm just like, we were actually, when we were we stayed in Venice Beach, and we were going to Vegas just to spend a day in Vegas with the wife and kid, because Kelly had never been. We drove for an hour, and there were still signs for Pasadena, where the Rose Bowl is. Now, I'm sure you're cutting back some towards LA.
Sure.
But Pasadena is not close to, it's not close to the ocean. If you're getting from the Rose Bowl to the ocean, I've been to the Rose Bowl one time. It was for the Women's World Cup.
Okay, yeah.
Back 99, 2000s when I was in LA. That's when we went. That was not a short drive to get from Hermosa Beach to Pasadena. 3
miles isn't a short drive in LA.
That's fair. 3 miles it takes a little while.
You almost want to hop in a helicopter to go get a cup of coffee.
20 minutes, like minimum. If you're looking to go somewhere in LA, 20 minutes is the minimum, and that's if you're going like 2.3 miles.
As long as you're not hopping on the highway.
Well, that's a different story. But actually, we got lucky when we were out there. The highways weren't that bad. Surprising, shockingly. But yeah.
Back to the topic at hand, though. I mean, when you hear a commissioner talk like this at a summit,
it's unlike anything we've ever heard from a commissioner before.
He's rocking the boat.
Yes.
And
actively
not being shy about it. Like not subtle jabs or little nuggets here or there. He's just coming out, popping his chest out a little bit and saying, I'm here, come get some.
Yeah.
And as a team going into a conference like that, how could you not be excited about this? We're still, believe it or not, we are still only 4 months, four whole months, 4 months and 6 days since he was officially hired. I believe it was July 1st.
Well, no, remember he was supposed to be hired like a month or two later, and he just showed up on the scene.
Then maybe it was August 1st.
Right, I think it was August 1st. He showed up July 1st, like.
So you're only officially August, September, October, November. So four months in here. And
this guy
in 7 days.
This guy. Like,
he's got a lot of grazie.
Grazie. Hey. Phenomenal.
I don't know. I would not want to cross him right now, because I feel like if he lines you up in his crosshairs,
this guy's on a heater.
He's taking you out. And Klyakov has to be sweating right now.
If we could remember Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV?
I do, yes.
I would if you got those two guys in a Celebrity Deathmatch, it would be like a jobber versus like the world champion. Because Klyakov, it ain't going well for him against Brett Yormark.
Well, and you wonder how long he's already known this, if he's been just spraying in every direction that he can, trying to hit anybody he can with strays.
I think it started when Klyakov got destroyed by the Big Ten and was like, this is the Big 12's fault. And Yormark was like, okay.
Personal vendetta.
Like, you want to come at me? All right. I love it. It's fascinating.
It should be a lot of fun to see the way that this plays out, but obviously you have some pretty ominous tones to some of the things that he is saying, and I, for one, would not be surprised.
Sooner than later, Aaron. Sooner than later.
I for one would not be surprised if you see some of these things happen. I don't, as soon as maybe the beginning of the year. If I don't know, I think you have to get through bowl season before any big changes, big sweeping changes happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if things happen fairly quickly after that.
He's indicating very clearly out loud
In ways we've never seen before.
Right.
Who knows what his timeline is?
It might be tomorrow.
Sooner I can cut your throat, the better.
Right. I'm not trying to do like the video game thing where you got to do the mission where you sneak up behind and you cut somebody's throat. Yormark seems like the guy that just runs up and like, ah, you're dead.
It'll be a lot of fun to see how this plays out. I think he's hungry for blood.
I can't wait. All right, that's going to wrap it up. We'll see you tomorrow night. We'll get our nightcap crosstown preview in as we go into the weekend. Thanks to Aaron Smith. Thanks to Galactic Fried Chicken. This is the nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!